I think the Illuminati has just gone public. I came across this website. I believe it's been up for a few months now, maybe a little bit longer than that. It says it's the official website of the Illuminati, and when I first saw it, I thought this has got to be some kind of a joke. I know there's been a lot of websites and businesses claiming the Illuminati name because it's fairly popular now and it's a well-known brand. So I thought this was just somebody else doing that. It was just sort of some gag, some way to make a quick buck. But as I looked through the website, it appeared to me more and more that this actually might be the official website of the Illuminati. It looks like the Illuminati or some powerful organization using the Illuminati brand name is going for some sort of one world brainwashed religion. It's actually kind of unbelievable. I got to show you guys what I discovered here. It's very disturbing. I'm going to start off with their book. They're selling a book. It's called the Illuminatum, the First Testament of the Illuminati. When I first thought about this, the whole website, the whole idea appears to be satire, and you think, how are they possibly going to sell a book? People know it as sort of a shadow organization, a negative organization. So you think, how are they going to actually bring out a book and bring out their organization and get a lot of people to join? And then I started to think about it, and who are they really targeting here? Well, they're targeting the youth. They're not targeting my generation. They're probably not even targeting most of the generation of people watching this movie. They're targeting people 25 and under. I'm going to go through that a little bit because that's something for us all to think about because it's an entirely different generation. I've talked about this in a lot of my other movies. So we all have to keep this in mind as I present this information on the website. Starts off on top here. Fear not for your war-stricken, poverty-ridden planet. Help is on the way. All throughout this website, there's a video I'm going to go through in the beginning. It's all about saying, we're here to rescue you. Again, appealing to a youthful generation. All right, continuing on here. Then it goes to say, the Illuminati is an elite collective of leaders entrusted to protect the 7 billion members of the human species. Our path for humanity, the universal design, has spanned throughout the centuries to safeguard humanity from extinction. The scale of our operations require anonymity, leaving history with no mention of our work. But the time for secrecy is nearing its end. So they're basically saying we're going public. We've been doing this work for centuries. We're a very powerful organization. I'm going to get into that a while. They've been building up this brand now for a while, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. Then it goes on to describe the book, Your Life's Guide. Learn of the power that gives authority to kings and queens, but lives inside every human. Discover your true purpose in the Illuminati's universal design. All right, so I'm going to go back in and talk a little bit more about this book, but again, we're talking about the youth here, and we're talking about an organization that has been planning this stuff for centuries. All right, so I'm going to talk about the Illuminati in just a second, but let's first talk about this generation that they're targeting. We're talking about a generation of kids who spends 7.5 hours on the internet every day. I just covered this pretty extensively in another video, talking about how they've destroyed the infant and mother bond and how children are being indoctrinated at a very young age by technology, by the government and their schools. The family unit has been all but completely destroyed, and children are completely living in an alternative universe for most of their waking hours, and that starts at a very young age. These kids are as different from us as we are from the early pioneers, from people 200 years ago. It's really difficult for us older people coming from a different generation, a different upbringing, to really understand what's going on inside the internal worlds of our youthful people. They're getting more and more embedded with technology. They're soon going to be human to computer interfaces inserted into their bodies. They're completely indoctrinated with the technological world. They're spending most of their waking hours connected to the internet and their cell phones. They've been bombarded by EMFs, different sorts of electromagnetic wavelengths and frequencies for their entire life. I'm going to cover this more extensively in another video, but it's something that we should all be aware of. It only takes one generation to completely wipe out a entire culture, entire belief systems, religions, the way people did things, their skill sets. We've seen this already in the past few centuries. Generation after generation, we're just hemorrhaging intergenerational skills and knowledge. So it only takes one generation of children raised in an indoctrinated way. We see this illustrated in the Brave New World in these types of books, and it completely changes the way humanity does things. So when you think about this generation, this youthful generation growing up now, they have completely different set of ethics and morals than we have. They've lost so much, they haven't been taught so much, and they're completely oriented to the world in a different way. So how has the Illuminati been presented to them, and how are they accepting it? And if you really think about it, the Illuminati is a very well-known secret organization that pretty much everybody has a different understanding about it, about what it really is. Most people who have studied it know a lot about the occult organizations, know that it's an offshoot of the Freemasonic secret organization. But for most Americans, it's like the Hawaiian word aloha. It means a lot of different things to different people or in different situations. And in that sense, it's also like the boogeyman, where people just say, the Illuminati did it, or it must be the Illuminati. It becomes the catchphrase for satanic organizations, for secret societies, for evil people, for the rich elite, for the banksters, all of these different things. Yes, that's the Illuminati. It's the controlling system. And that's why I use the word the Illuminati in a lot of my video titles, because I know it's a catchphrase that most people understand what you're talking about. This sort of dark energy, these secret organizations, the shadow government, the hidden power behind the political power and the corporate power and the banksters, the very top, the capstone of the pyramid. But for me, it actually means something a little bit different. I cover this quite extensively in my book, The Choice. My understanding, I hope people will keep an open mind about this, is that the Illuminati is not only a bunch of people, a bunch of guys, a bunch of rich men who rule from the shadows and have been keeping their organization hidden and secret for centuries, and being the shadow government and being the hidden hands behind so much of what happens in the world. It also is an energy, a demonic type force, an off-world presence. We have so many different types of spiritual energies. I've done a lot of research about this, and there's a battle between higher level benevolent spiritual beings and these sort of lower demonic entities. And the Illuminati represents a presence. Often the people that are running the Illuminati are reincarnated souls that come back life after life, time after time, and represent these roles. So even if they're murdered, even if they're killed, even when they die, they'll be reincarnated and again find their way into the leadership of the Illuminati. So they pass this baton on to themselves, and they run the world. They influence the world all around them, keeping things hidden, keeping essential information hidden, killing all spiritual movements, and then corrupting and co-opting that spiritual movement into some sort of religion that they control and they can use to disconnect people from the God within them, to steer them in the wrong direction, to hurt people's self-esteem, and to take people away from where they need to go, to constantly weaken people, to poison our minds and our hearts. And they've been doing this for centuries to keep us down, to keep us unaware of our inner divine nature. The name Illuminati or Freemason or government or bank or anything that they own or they possess is just a tool. It's something that they can throw away and create another organization. The organization is always going to be the same. The name and the faces will be different, but the energy behind it is always the same. The same sort of demonic presence is always there. And now in our so-called modern era, you see that the Illuminati have created quite a brand for themselves now that they appear to be going public as an organization in a way, because they're still going to be hidden, but they're going to allow people to think that they're joining, especially this young generation. And they've built up this incredible brand, this very powerful brand. Let's break that down. It starts off with what they call the Great Seal of America, the official seal of the United States, the most powerful and richest country in the world. It's on the back of the dollar bill, the most printed paper note in the history of the world. The dollar bill is the number one, if you want to think about it as being a flyer or a poster, it's the number one piece of paper propaganda out there in the world. A dollar passes through everybody's hands. They've all seen the pyramid. They all see the evil Illuminati all-seeing eye. So this is something that everybody knows about. They've been doing this since the 1940s, and they've been able to make a brand for themselves generation after generation. And then there's all these corporations using the same pyramid, using the eye of Horus. Again, what incredible brand recognition they already have. They have with our generation, but we're talking about future generations. Look at all the kids that are growing up with this. So that's just the first piece, brand recognition. So think about this generation. Think about this generation that's growing up now. Think about all these kids who've grown up with this Illuminati saturating their lives, not just in terms of the dollar, but in terms of their celebrities. These group of kids that are living mostly in an alternative universe. They haven't learned much about God, about the natural world. They don't have many skill sets. They're growing up with a different level of indoctrination in terms of their educational system. And every one of them thinks they're going to be a star. Every one of them thinks they're going to be a celebrity. This is something that's plagued the American culture for years now, and it's worse now than ever because of their connection to the internet, because of their programming. They think they're going to be a celebrity, a star of some sort. And who is the gateway? What group is the gateway to their stardom? It's the Illuminati. This rapper T-Pain said, if there is an Illuminati, boy, I'm looking for them. I'm telling you, boy, I'm trying to get in it. I would be way richer than I am right now. So there's a lot of people who have a favorable attitude to their Illuminati. There is some rapper that I guess murdered somebody trying to get into the Illuminati, doing a blood sacrifice. So for these young people, the Illuminati is a gateway to their stardom, a gateway to their position. They have a favorable attitude for it. They don't have the same belief systems that we have. Do you see this? Do you see that they're growing up in the world of the Illuminati? They're growing up in a world where the Illuminati controls everything. There's a sense of inevitability here. So I want to go through this book now. I'm going to go back to the website and talk about the book and think about this. Think about this group of young people and think about the branding that the Illuminati have built up now for a number of years and think about how they're targeting these young people. So here, going to the next phase of this, where there's this website where they're trying to sell this book. Now is the time to prepare. This planet is meant for greatness, a world rich enough for all people in all places to live in abundance. A new dawn approaches, and though you may feel insignificant, you are an integral part of its future. Illuminatum, the Illuminati's first testament to the world, is your life's guide to all that is ahead. The Illuminati's role in the preservation of the human species. Decades-old secrets of power and abundance, how to join the Illuminati in the coming age, your true purpose in our universal design. Do you see how they're marketing to these young people? They're selling them not only is the Illuminati their savior, but it's also going to open up their true destiny, open up their power, the secrets to their power, the secrets. They're selling them a seat at the table. They're saying that if you join us, you'll be in this powerful club, this exclusive club. All right, so let's go into the next part. It says your questions are answered. How do you join the Illuminati? What is the Illuminos? Discover the Illuminati worship. Does the Illuminati worship Satan or God? We're going to get into that at the end of this video. Discover definitive answers to our citizens' most common questions. So again, you and I aren't going to join the Illuminati. This isn't targeting us. We think it's stupid. We think it's evil. We can see right through it. But what do you think young people can see? What do you think they're viewing this as? All right, so Let's go through some of the chapters here. The Age of Illuminatum, the White Room, Methods of Mind Control, how you are watched, the need for hardships, the secret power, the future of this planet, the God conundrum, how to join the Illuminati, a beacon for light, and finding purpose. Now, without even reading the book, just going through the chapter titles, methods of mind control and how you are watched, and the need for hardship and the secret of power, you can see all of this stuff that they're preparing them for, all the way that they're going to indoctrinate them. I mean, it's just right there. And then you go scroll down to the bottom of the page, and it's just like this on the website. You have all these happy, indoctrinated young people holding up their copy of the Illuminatum's New Testament. I mean, for you Christians out there, how insulting is that for you? All right, so let's go over to Amazon.com where they're selling this book. All right, just at first glance, when you go to the this page for this Illuminatum, the First Testament of the Illuminati book on Amazon.com, you can see that there's a lot of money and influence behind this book. If you look down at the rankings down there in blue, it says in the title of books, religion, spirituality, and religious study, controversial knowledge. It's number one in that category, and in books, religion and spirituality, New Age, it's number 9. And if you click on that and you go to that category, you can see it's on the front page. So it's in a very desirable place. It's in the top 10. It'll be on the front page of the New Age category. The New Age category is a very popular category. It's very hard to get that type of ranking. Amazon is a big search engine. So to get that type of ranking, you need a lot of money. You need a lot of people buying the book. You need a great marketing system and a great marketing strategy. So they've really worked the system, and they've risen up to a high level where this book is going to be put in front of a lot of people. And this book is going to be sold, it's going to be read, and it's going to change the way that people think about Illuminati. And this is obviously the case here. And this is just probably the beginning for them. All right, now we're going to go to reviews. This book has a lot of positive support. It has almost 600 reviews. 559 of them are 5-star reviews. Most of the rest the 29 are 4-star reviews. And now they have 6 that are 1-star reviews. Now I looked at a few of the 1-star reviews and a few of the 5-star reviews, and the 1-star reviews were basically saying this book is extremely remedial. These people who bought this book have read a lot of books about the occult. They were hoping to get some inside information about the occult, and this book seemed to be, it has a very large print, and one person said it was written for 3rd graders. So again, we see that they're targeting the young people. This book is not a very complex book. It's a book to indoctrinate young people. The book also says that they're wanting you to be a part of the political power, to be a part of this political system. Again, they're offering a seat at the table. All right, so let's look at one of the 5-star reviews. All right, so let's take a look at this one. I've lived all my life in poverty, one hardship after the other. Then light shined upon me. At first it was made opaque by the lies, but once I got a glimpse of the truth, I knew how wrong I and many other were. The Illuminati are not here for their own egotist goals, but rather to help each and every one of us, humankind. If you have been misguided by the lies and incomplete information on the media, I advise you to read the book and learn the hidden truth. The level of the indoctrination in that review speaks for itself. I'm going to go and read a little bit of an excerpt that they have on Amazon.com that'll speak to a little bit more of what that person was talking about in the review. It's the beginning of the book. Welcome. The Illuminati holds you, a citizen of our shared planet, in the highest esteem. You may not realize it yet, but you have been led here by design, even though you have arrived by your own free will. You were not shown a symbol in the sky, nor did you hear a magnified voice that caused the ground beneath you to tremble, demanding you read the words written in this testament. You followed your own life's journey to find your way here, never suspecting that the map you relied upon was drawn by us. The Illuminati is a collective of political leaders, business owners, and other influential members of this planet. Our organization unites leaders of the world in an unrestricted and private domain, free of political, religious, and geographical boundaries, to further the prosperity of the human species, to operate in humanity's best interests. Our council's authority supersedes that of individual governments, making decisions that your queens, presidents, emperors, and other leaders may be unable to decree on their own, but are required to carry out. You will not find us praised in any history book or document, though the Illuminati has helped shape every movement on this planet since the first human government was established. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. How are they possibly bragging about what they've done here? How are they possibly bragging about the state of the world that's gotten worse and worse and worse? People have become more and more degraded, more and more violent, and we have these atomic powered bombs that can wipe out all life on planet Earth. So they're bragging about something that's a horrific job, and so much they've sabotaged in terms of the collective welfare of this planet. I just want to also say that this book is not written by one author. There's no authorship claimed in this book. So if it is written by these dark entities, these dark personalities that run this organization, and it looks like it really has, this is clearly something that's well orchestrated. So for us, we can see through this, but for the young people that are coming up, what are they hearing in this? This sense of inevitability, this powerful organization that's run things. They're here to bring you in and give you a seat at the table. They're here to help you out and make you into the kind of person that you always knew you could be. The power and position. And I wanted to stress this throughout the rest of this video presentation. Look how they're making this, look at how they're indoctrinating all these young people to a sense of inevitability that if you want to make it in any sphere of activity, political or in the business world or in the entertainment fields or in the sports, being an athlete in the sports world or being a coach or being a business person, in any field, you have to have the approval of the Illuminati. They can do things that even kings and emperors can't do. All right, so let's go back to the website. This is the website they're calling the Illuminati's official website. The centerpiece of this website is this video. It's basically talking about how the Illuminati is going to save the world, and the video seems kind of benign when you watch it, and I'm not recommending anybody watch it, but as I saw, it was playing in the background. I don't know if there's some sort of negative energy associated with it, or just my feeling about the Illuminati, or there's some sort of vibratory thing with it, some sort of subliminal messaging. I don't know, but there's some kind of feeling I had that was just off. I recommend against watching it. There's just some kind of negative feeling associated with it, and the message itself. You're getting exposed to the message, whether you're resistant to it. That's the problem with all this stuff. Even if you're conscious of it, you're still on a subconscious level. You're still on an internal level, on a spiritual level, absorbing their material. So again, with the symbolism, they've really worked the capstone of the pyramid into everybody's subconscious, into something we're just familiar with. I think you'll see this in the very near future, the way that Christians wear crosses or Jewish people wear the Star of David. You'll see this, people wearing the triangles. You already see this with some rappers, some celebrities, and that sort of thing. The next part of the website is about the Illuminati's belief system, and they're basically saying that the Illuminati got a bad rap. They're talking about how a lot of organizations that have nothing to do with the Illuminati are using the Illuminati's name and the symbolism, and a lot of events and things that have been done weren't done by the Illuminati. And they talk a little bit about their belief in God and Satan, and they basically have taken an agnostic approach. They're basically saying that you can't prove or disprove that God exists, and that goes with the devil and these other organizations. You can just do good in the world. There's actually two parts here that need to be covered, and the first part is that when you take a neutral position, when you say that you can't prove God or disprove God, so you take this sort of neutral position, let's just not take a side either way, then you're definitely taking the side of the dark forces. There's a reason for this, and that is that God does not use force. God is love. God doesn't force us to do anything. That's why the world's in the state that it's in. People say, they're mad at God and they lose their faith in God because he lets all these bad things happen. It's because God doesn't force. God is not a bully. God doesn't impose his will. The dark forces do. The dark forces can break rules. They can use manipulative tactics. They can bully other people. They can take a hostile approach to something. But God, the light forces, the people that are spiritually evolved, you let nature run its course. They let people choose their own way, and that's why the world is in the state that it's in, because people are choosing to go in the opposite direction of the divine plan. They go against God. They go against nature. They go against their own best self-interest. So when you take this neutral position and you say, yeah, I don't know whether there's a God or not, so I'm going to just basically be in a neutral state. I'm not against God. I'm not for God. That's when you find that the negative forces, what Christians would call the devil, what other religions would call something else, but that's when these dark, demonic, negative forces and the negative forces within yourself, they'll find an easier pathway to express themselves and become manifest in your life and the world around you. You don't have anything to sort of anchor yourself to. You don't have a goal. And when you don't have faith, then you live in this cause and effect world where you do things and you get either rewarded or punished for those things, and you have no reason. The way the system is now, the system rewards for poor behavior. It rewards for sociopathic behavior. It rewards for immoral and criminal behavior. And on a physical level, on a material level, it's better to lie, it's better to cheat, it's better to steal, because you'll accrue wealth. It's easier to get rich. It's easier to make it your way up to the top of the pyramid that the Illuminati supposedly control, that the secret societies supposedly control. It's better to behave in a lower manner, behave with your lower self, your lower tendencies, a more animalistic, animalistic in the sense not in a natural way, but animalistic in a human animal who's very sensory oriented, because all you want to do is please your senses. There's nothing else. There's no love, there's no God, there's no other world, there's no other planes of existence. All you have is your physical life. There's no soul. So there's just what you have to do physically and what you have to do emotionally. Your experience as a human being is all that matters, and pleasing yourself and having a good time and doing what's best for you and maybe for the people that you care about is all there is. There's no higher purpose to your life. And remember, Satanism, even though the Illuminati website says they have nothing to do with Satanism, Satanism isn't about worshiping the devil, it's denying God. There's no God but thyself is a famous satanic saying. So what have done here is very clever. They're not embracing any form of evil. They're not endorsing Satanism or any of these sorts of things, but they're doing it by default. Another thing I've covered here about satanic worship is that they're always inverting things and they're always twisting things around. And illumination is a good thing. To illuminate something or become illuminated yourself, to become enlightened yourself. Light is a good thing. The sun is a good thing. But they've taken this idea of Illuminati, something that enlightens, something that brings truth into light, and they've stuck it into this dark, seedy, secret organization that rules governments from a dark place, from a secret place. They've withheld truths from the human population now for centuries, and they've warped teachings of religious teachers, religious spiritual masters. They've taken their truths and kept them for themselves, and then they've put something out to the masses. So we have this situation where they're doing the exact opposite of illuminating people. So that's when people call Lucifer the light bringer, the light giver. But he's not doing that. So it's something that's been reversed, it's been inverted, which is another sign that this website's satanic. Even though they're claiming otherwise, they're taking a satanic position in a very subtle way and trying to convince people that their organization has a higher purpose and it's somehow going to rescue them and give them power and give them everything that they desire and turn them into the kind of people they've always dreamed of. So that's enough of this website. This is enough of this organization. There's actually some good things that are going to come out of all this, and I haven't been talking about those things so much. The next string videos I'm going to make are going to be about that and talking about how this scenario can have a positive effect. There are spiritual benefits that are going to come because of our civilization collapsing. We have a chance to rise up and evolve. There's actually a great opportunity here because of all of these negative factors that are happening. Spiritual people have always had great challenges. Spiritual saints, spiritual masters in every tradition around the world. If you trace your own religious history, you see that all the iconic figures, all the people that have done well spiritually, had great things to overcome. And that's what we're going to face. Our children and certainly our grandchildren are going to face things to overcome, and that can make them better. It can sort of forge them, pound them, and create great spiritual beings. There's a great spiritual opportunity. A lot of what's going on right now is about pulling out the poison. A lot of what Christians called sins and other people might call karma, and what they call some scars in the yogic tradition, all these impressions, all these thoughts and heavy, gross actions that have sort of poisoned humanity can be pulled out like you're lancing a boil or something. All the poison is coming out, and we see that manifesting in the world right now. But that can help and cleanse and bring about a brighter tomorrow. So I'm going to cover this quite extensively in the next 3 videos. These videos are going to be packed with information and attitudes that people can take, especially in the next few generations as we prepare our children and our grandchildren for this upcoming collapse and the way the world's going to be in the future, preparing them for the way the world's going to be. So I hope you guys tune into those videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell other people about the videos. This is crucial information, vital information that I don't hear very many people talk about. I don't think there's any videos about this. Very few books, if any, on this subject matter. It's not something people talk about in their personal conversations about the way the world is and preparing themselves, prepping for the world the way it's going to be in the future. But this information and these attitudes are absolutely essential for all of us to thrive in the world the way it is now and the way it's going to be in the very near future.